fire.
Yeah, my wand shoots fire. Welcome to House Show Jobbers. We're talking about Harry
If
Potter.
your wand shoots fire, I feel like maybe you should get some penicillin.
Well, anyways, I bought it off
Stephanier will.
Instagram, and it shoots fire out. Speaking of shooting fire out, it uses the same paper that the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior match from Halloween Havoc used.
Oh, the.
Good segue, Zach. Let's go.
Oh,
To arguably the worst match ever.
Yeah.
God.
It
So
was terrible.
disappointing. Jesus.
For all of the terrible, terrible matches that WCW had, which is more than a plethora, that ranks amongst the highest end.
Yeah, it was bad.
That
Yeah.
was about the time when I got back into wrestling. And I got back into it because Ultimate Warrior had showed back up in WCW. And then
Yeah.
I got back into it.
One
kind of segued
One Warrior
into,
Nation.
Yeah. Well, it kind of segued into I started watching, and then it wasn't enough. So I turned back to WWF, and then I was watching both. And pretty soon I was like, wow, this is way better than this. But yeah, that Hogan Warrior match, I bought it. That was the first pay-per-view I'd bought in my life, to be honest with you, because I couldn't even buy the old ones. I didn't even live in a town where you could do that. And God, it was so disappointing.
It's so bad.
It was,
I
I was like,
I,
can't wait to see this.
I remember everyone was so fucking mad that bought that pay-per-view. I feel like I went to a friend's house, my brother's friend's house, and we were watching it, and the pay-per-view cut off halfway through the Diamond Dallas Page Goldberg match.
Yes. Which was the only good match. That match was legitimately good too.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then they had to.
Then we got it for free on Nitro.
Yeah, that's right. For those of us who didn't get to see the match, we're going to show it live on Monday Nitro.
Vince McMahon.
Thanks, Tony Schiavone.
Vince McMahon never would have done that. Like if that happened, he wouldn't have been like, "We're gonna put it on Raw, brother." He would have at least been like, "Well, we're gonna put it on pay-per-view again at like a discounted price."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No,
I don't even know if Vince would have even discounted it. He'd be like, so what?
That's true.
Buy the replay. Buy the
This goes
replay.
down as one of the greatest matches in history that I've ever seen. You gotta order it on pay-per-view.
Buy the replay, pal.
I always thought that Vince McMahon voice was the strangest one on commentary. He'd be doing regular comedy, and then he would go up, and then he would say things like this. And you're like, what is that octave that you're hitting, Vince?
I don't know, man. I've been watching old stuff. Every time I listen to Vince McMahon on commentary, like this guy was
Harry Potter.
Okay, I'll see you later.
He was what?
Underrated. Vince McMahon,
yeah.
Like leaks better
Yeah.
than I
Rated
remember.
with Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I loved the Ventura Gorilla Monsoon dynamic. Was
Yeah,
fantastic.
I loved the body. I loved the body and Gorilla. They were just awesome together.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I like those two better than Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you get better than Gorilla and Bobby Heenan though. Those two. Oh.
That was just more Gorilla just berating Bobby Heenan and Bobby Heenan having funny shit to say.
Yeah.
I might get a lot of heat for this, but I cannot fucking stand Bobby Heenan. Like,
whoa, that's
Yeah.
a hot take.
yeah. So
Here's my hot take, and I think other people have said it, so it's not as hot as not liking Bobby Heenan. I preferred after Lawler got fired. I thought that Heyman and Jim Ross was one of the best commentary duos of all time.
yeah, I can actually agree with that one.
They perfectly played because they both knew what they were supposed to do, and Paul Heyman knew he was a heel and knew what his role was, and Jim Ross knew to be the good guy and to be disgusted by the things that Paul Heyman said. It was such a well balanced dynamic.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I enjoyed Paul Heyman a lot more than Jerry Lawler because it wasn't, every 20 minutes. Puppies!
Yeah,
Puppies!
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, watching, because I'm currently in the 2003 era, like just kind of running through. I'm almost to 2004, but like, dude, there are so many, and it's not just Jerry Lawler. Like Jerry Lawler takes the heat for this, and I understand why because he was the commentator, but it was the way it was laid out, dude. It was so sexist. And
Well,
Those diva search contests
yeah,
and
dude,
just
it's
like
just it's
yeah.
it's awkward. Like I can't even watch it. I have to fast forward through the weird like, oh, the brawn pennies, paddle mat, and I'm like,
I know
oh,
you got daughters and you got to just be thinking like,
yeah,
oh, if someone did this to my daughter, just
yeah.
First off, I want you to blink twice that you're saying that because your daughters are there.
it's like I hate how they sexually objectified all those women.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Uh,
it's like you guys said though, at the time when you're like in your early 20s,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like a big deal. But you go back and watch it now when you're freaking, for me, in my late 40s, and I'm like, ugh,
yeah.
it's nasty. Like, I don't want to watch this.
So, yeah, it's kind of funny. So, it's not really wrestling related for the most part, but like my daughter loves watching Unspeakable, and I'm just sitting here watching. It's like, oh, that's like a very mild version of Viva La Bam, and my daughter's like, well, what's Viva La Bam? And I'm like, oh, it used to be on MTV. It was hilarious. And so I put on an episode, and I had to turn it off like 2 minutes into it. I was like, oh my god. Way
Yeah,
worse than I remember it
being that bad.
being. Yeah. And it's like, it's
I,
funny,
I
because I'm nearly 40. But like my daughter turned 7 soon. I was like, you can't watch this. This is bad.
a few nights ago I put on Borat for Logan for the first time, and the scene in the hotel where they're wrestling around naked, he was like gasping for air. Like I was like, yeah, 13 years old. That is exactly who this is made for right here.
Um,
Like,
I'm honestly,
he's like, eat my asshole.
Yeah, he's my asshole.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that WWE didn't try to pull off a fucking Borat character because
Yeah, me too.
it would have been Santino Marella, but
It would have. I was gonna say it's only because they kicked Muhammad Hassan off the TV. They would have eventually turned him from heel into the
Yeah.
Borat version of that. Undertaker, you eat my ass. You lie.
Yeah. You think I do 9/11, but I don't. I live in Detroit.
Wow, so we went from Benoit on the last episode to 9/11 on this one. We're just
Well, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Who doesn't like it?
Yeah,
Let us know. Let us know
they,
that you
they will.
Yeah.
If there's one
If they
thing
don't like it, they're obviously watching it. I can't wait to watch it again and say something else about it. Like
I feel like a lot of wrestling fans are like me. Like they hate Jim Cornette. I mean, I don't necessarily hate the guy. I think he's a doofus. They hate like Bubba Ray Dudley or Bully Ray, where the fuck he goes by now. I don't necessarily hate the guy. I think he's a dork. But like they'll go back and watch his shit just to get mad.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's the same as like Eminem fans and stuff. How dare he say the things that he says, and then they're sitting there going like this to the beat.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I do
That
that.
fucking new Eminem song is fire. I love it so much. I've listened to that song so many times.
I listened to part of it and I was like, this guy sucks.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever heard an Eminem song in my entire life, to be honest with
what?
God.
you. I guess that's not
Texas.
true because I saw the movie 8 Mile, so I guess I heard
Bro.
something at that point.
Lose yourself.
Yeah, I must have heard that song, right?
Yeah.
You didn't watch the Super Bowl with him and Dre and Snoop and
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I don't care. Anyway,
Oh, well. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
exactly what you do.
Yeah. So I'm getting like a countdown here. We have a little over 3 minutes to end this video because
Wait, did you say 3 minutes?
hey, that was
Rest in
good.
peace, Umaga.
I like that. That was good.
Thanks, thanks.
I actually enjoyed those segments. Actually, it
I
was
did too.
yeah. I thought that was a really good way to get a tag team over. Yeah,
Yeah, they
very
they
clever.
dropped the angle too quick because of the backlash from the hot lesbian action angle. But like, if they hadn't taken it that far and done that dumb shit, that's not the tag team's fault. But the idea of, like you said, did you say 3 minutes or whatever? Like that was clever, and then they just came out and squashed whoever.
Yeah, yeah, that was good stuff.
I tell you what, they were more over than the AOP.
Yeah. You know what's even crazy now? Both of them are dead. Uh,
Yeah,
so
Rosie and
Umaga and Roman Reigns' brother.
yeah,
yeah.
maybe we'll talk about early deaths in the next episode.
I feel like we've been talking about
Yeah.
those. We
Bring
talked
your
about Chris Benoit's kid
noisemakers
in the
and
last
your
episode. If we
well,
want to
I
talk about,
mean, you got to talk about like the Von Erichs
it's all
and
the good time on the next
the
episode.
video. I, I don't know if you guys saw the video. It was like Lacey Von Erich. She was doing something, and she saw Ted DiBiase at the airport, and she was like, "Oh, it's Ted DiBiase. He's wearing the little WWE badge on his little chest there." And she's like, "Oh, uh, remember when my family worked for the WWE?" And Ted DiBiase was like, "Yeah, they're a great family." And she's like, "Yeah, now they're all dead." And she just walks off.
jeez,
It's like,
Jesus.
wow.
Who
yeah.
is she? Was she somebody's wife or just?
I think so. The only one that had kids was Kevin, right? He's a yeah,
Yeah, but he's still alive.
yeah. So I
He's got
think
that compound in Maui.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the when his wife is pregnant at the end of that movie, spoilers. I think the one that she's carrying, I think, is Lacey.
Okay.
I
All
think.
right.
I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's right.
Damn.
Yeah, she was
Take
in
it easy.
TNA. Did you guys watch TNA when she was there?
Uh-uh.
The better question is, did I watch TNA?
Well, we could. I mean, we could talk about TNA. Oh.
I've watched it here and there. Like
I
there
read
was
about
periods where I
it.
liked it more than others.
Yeah, we'll
I
save
went
that
to a TNA taping in Orlando when I lived down there.
for you. Well, you can tell us that story
Yeah.
on the next video because
All right.
Zoom is cutting me off. So catch you on the next video.